This is the real impact of the harassment that I have to deal with. After CTV Your Morning announced that I would be joining them every Friday of the campaign to do a fact check, a bunch of bad faith right wingers who hate me for no other reason than I have reported accurately on the things that people they agree with politically have said and done. They just swarmed, including someone who, up until a week before the election, was Pierre Poilievre's main spokesperson and is still on Pierre Poilievre's team. And yesterday, CTV called me and informed me that I've lost this career opportunity. Because I was worried that they were going to be spineless, I recorded the phone call. And in that phone call, CTV made it extremely clear that this was being canceled because of the online backlash, not because of my skill set, not because of anything that I have said or done, but because of the way that these bad faith trolls were talking about me online. Bad faith trolls and a member of Pierre Poilievre's team. Before I play you any of this audio, I want you to understand that this is why these guys do this. This is why I get harassed so badly, because they know that it'll work. If you see someone reporting on far right, on threats to democracy, on the rights of trans people, and you bully everyone who gives them a career opportunity anytime they achieve anything, and then those career opportunities get taken away, you're going to realize that it works. And now, because CTV just caved to this pressure for no other reason than the backlash that these guys intentionally inflicted on me, they're going to know that they can do it again. This is a direct attack on journalism, on the freedom of the press, and frankly, it really, really is crushing for me. Here's the phone call, and you can decide for yourself. This is Rachel Gilmore. Is this Jennifer? I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Thanks for calling me back.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I laughed actually when I got your very anonymous voicemail, and I was like, well, that's not surprising.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta be careful.
I realize. I wanted to call to talk to you about the planned appearances that we had you discussed with our team on the show.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're well aware of the pushback we received after your first appearance on the show.
Yeah, definitely. I've got some very dedicated trolls. They operate in really bad faith. It's super frustrating.
You know what, Rachel, I can't even imagine. I followed you for a long time. I'm well aware of the trolls that you deal with, and it is really shocking and disappointing.
Thanks for saying that.
This time.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I knew that you had that troll base, and I knew that we would get some sort of reaction, but I really did not realize the extent of the volume of that pushback that we had.
Yeah. Well, it's a whole model at this point. Like, they've developed a playbook to try to deprive people like me of opportunities, and they're very good at it. So
they are, and like the tricky thing for me is like it just ends up being a distraction of what we are trying to do. My goal as the EP for the show is I just want to do election coverage.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a critical election for Canadians. We've got Trump, we've got tariffs, we've got crazy amounts of information coming in, and we just want to be able to get that to people. But the who we're talking to is kind of drowning out what we're talking about right now. And I don't feel like we have the bandwidth to deal with it. So I feel terrible about doing this, but I'm just going to call down the segment that we were planning to do with you because I just don't think we have the bandwidth to be able to keep the focus where we need to. I know that is super disappointing and crappy, and we're the ones who reached out to you, and we were really looking forward to the segments together, but I just don't feel right about moving forward with it because it just ends up distracting from the work and the coverage that we're trying to do. And I recognize what you're saying is that this is another opportunity denied to you. And I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I think it's just frustrating because it's a bad faith campaign that's totally out of my control. And like, it's any journalist held to this level of scrutiny would, like, anyone could find a correction someone has issued, for example, and blow it out of proportion. And I just have this like super dedicated group of haters, and it's frustrating because it's a model that works, and the fact that this is getting canceled is evidence of that. Like, this is why they do it, and this is why there's going to be fewer women and people of color and people like me on these shows, you know? So it's too bad. I wish that you guys had the bandwidth, because it is kind of utterly unfair. Like, there's no real criticisms being levied here, right? Like, there's nothing I've issued corrections for that they're bringing up that, like, are disproportionate to the standard work of any journalist. And it's just too bad.
It is, and I agree. I agree, and I feel terrible about it. I know, like I said, I know that we made an arrangement with you to do 4 appearances. I am willing to live up to the financial part of it. We do offer an expert fee, and I'm happy to pay that out because we're the ones canceling it. If that helps in any way, I mean, it doesn't, because I know that the appearance itself would have been valuable as well.
Yeah, it would have gone a long way to pushing back against the bad faith narratives out there. But
and there may be a time and a place down the road where we can delve into it. After an election campaign, or maybe there's something we can do down the road, because I see what you're saying, and I feel the frustration.
Yeah,
I am sorry. I really am. I am also disappointed about this.
Yeah.
I do want to be clear, though. This is like 100% my decision. I've been trying to sit with it for the past few days to really give it time and consideration and respect for your work and for the work of our team, to make sure that I'm making the best decision for us and for our viewers. And I really do feel like this is what we need to do. So I just want to be clear that this is my decision. I own it.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to let you know, we're not going to say anything publicly about not doing the segments, but I totally understand you have your followers and your viewers, and you need to say whatever you need to say to them.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I kind of have to, because it's a bit embarrassing for me, right? Like, I already publicly, because I waited till it was said on air, because I didn't want to risk any kind of embarrassment like this. And the trolls are going to take this as a victory, as they should, frankly, because it's bad faith, and it worked. So it's too bad. It's too bad that the model works.
It is. I am sorry. And I offer you my personal apology too, because I do feel really bad about this, because I know it was us who reached out to you too.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the apology. I wish the world was different, and I wish that you guys were able to, push ahead in the face of this. But it is what it is. So
it is. I would love to keep in touch down the road. I would love to keep the conversation just between you and I going, because I feel like, I like hearing what you have to say, and I think, maybe there is something down the road that we can do.
I appreciate that.
Are you interested? Do you want to invoice us for the appearances? Because I am more than happy to give you the standard expert fee for that. If you want to send us an invoice, I'm happy to do that.
Sure. Yeah, I will send that along. Thank you for that.
You can send it to Kristen. I think you've got her email address, or I'm the same. I'm Jennifer. Actually, I have your email right here, so I'll send you an email after this so that you have my contact.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
Thank you for understanding. I really am sorry. I wish we lived in a different world.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Thank you, Rachel. I really appreciate your understanding.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
On a personal note, I'm just really crushed. I was really excited about this. It felt like a full circle moment in my career, because one of my early jobs was as a producer for CTV, and now I was going to be on as an expert journalist fact checker. And that was taken away from me. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. If you like my work, you know where to find it. Not on CTV, unfortunately.